Hello guys, one more time and welcome to Ring Royalty. Are we filming? Welcome back to another video from my channel Ring Royalty. My name's Alexis, as you know, and it's time to introduce another section into this channel. The name is Scrapped Storylines, and we're going to talk about some storylines that were planned by WWE or another wrestling company, but in the end they were either cancelled or scrapped due to different reasons. We're going to mention the dynamic right now so you can follow. First, we mention what was the storyline about. Then, we're going to mention the reason, if it is known, why it was cancelled. And to finish, we're going to talk about a little bit what could have happened if this storyline was included in the show. Without further to say, let's get right into this very interesting video. Storyline number one that I'm going to mention, I'm not sure if everyone here knows it, it's quite popular, I would say, is Kaitlyn joining Divas of Doom, Beth and Natalya on SmackDown. Let me give you some background about it. So this is 2011. SmackDown was not a live show, it was taped, and they filmed a segment where Beth Phoenix and Natalya, Divas of Doom, defeated the Chickbusters, Kaitlyn and AJ Lee, once again. Remember that in 2011, Beth and Natalya were an unstoppable force and they were absolutely dominating the whole Divas division. The thing is, after losing for the second time in a row, Kaitlyn got fed up. Just because AJ was focusing more on Daniel Bryan, they were going to start that angle, and Kaitlyn decided to join Divas of Doom and leave AJ all by herself in pain inside the ring. This is a very interesting thing, just because we're used to see AJ as a heel and Kaitlyn as a face. So what could have happened if the tables were turned? I believe that could have changed the history of WWE, because AJ and Kaitlyn would have gone to different directions. I'm also quite disappointed they dropped it, because Kaitlyn would have benefited from it being in the ring with two veterans basically, as Beth and Natalya, plus they were the top of the division, so it could have helped Kaitlyn to have a highlight in her career. And also Kaitlyn is a powerhouse herself, so that would have been very interesting. The three most powerful divas in the division being a team destroying everyone else. I think it could have been very interesting. It could have led maybe to a Kaitlyn and Beth Phoenix feud for the title, or maybe Natalya was the one separating and could have challenged Beth for the title at some point. So that was a very, very interesting idea. I'm not sure why it was cancelled. It is not confirmed, but it probably was just because they wanted to follow AJ's storyline with Daniel Bryan and they didn't have really something planned for Kaitlyn, so they decided to just scrap that segment. We move to storyline number two, and we're going to talk about a storyline that was scrapped due to coronavirus. So this was the triple threat match from the Riott squad at Wrestlemania. It was going to be Ruby Riott against Liv Morgan against Sarah Logan. It was probably going to be on the pre-show, but due to the coronavirus, Sarah Logan and Ruby Riott had some problems with their schedules. They were not ready to be on the tapings, so therefore they need to scrap that. That's why we only got Liv against Natalya on the pre-show, which makes no sense as both of them were faces and they haven't really had a beef or any interaction before that. I think scrapping this was a big mistake, and not long after that they just fired Sarah Logan. I'm convinced they should have waited to fire any talent, and if they were going to fire Sarah Logan, they could have done the triple threat before that. I think a lot of people were actually invested on it, which is weird because the Riott squad, basically it was the creative team's fault, but the Riott squad never had something important or never seemed as a big deal inside the WWE when they were a team. So it would have been so refreshing to see them show their individual selves in a match against the other members. I think it was a big loss. Let's remember they teased it after Elimination Chamber when Shayna destroyed everyone. Ruby and Sarah trying to distract Liv Morgan in a tag team match. Then Ruby and Sarah fighting each other, and Liv doing a diving crossbody on top of them. They were trying to build that into WrestleMania. But pandemic happened, coronavirus happened, and we said goodbye to the Riott Squad in a very, very lame way. I'm pretty sure that if that happened, maybe Ruby or Liv's career would be way better than it is at this point in time. Oh, you never know. Storyline number 3. We are going to talk about a huge storyline that was planned, but this was scrapped due to injury. I'm talking about WrestleMania 21 back in 2005 when Lita and Trish were supposed to collide at WrestleMania. That could have been a huge moment, not only because Trish and Lita are basically the two most important women in WWE history, but the thing is, Trish and Lita never got a one-on-one match at Mania. Even if they were so iconic as rivals or partners, they never get to get that moment, that one-on-one moment at the grandest stage of them all. Let's recap. Throughout 2004, Lita was doing a pregnant storyline, a baby from Kane that she lost, and Trish Stratus was just mocking her non-stop. Trish was a real bitch when she was a heel, but that was amazing. When she lost the baby, Lita just snapped as she was trying to hold back her anger when she had the baby inside her. But as soon as she lost it, Trish was a dead woman. They main evented Raw in December 2004, and Lita, as a huge babyface in her hometown, defeated Trish to be the women's champion. The first time the women main evented Raw, or any show for that matter, I think. Lita had her first women's title defense in 2005 in the pay-per-view New Year's Revolution. Lita was supposed to defend the title against the former champ Trish, but their feud was supposed to continue and heat up until they finally clashed in a final battle at Mania. But what happened? Lita torn her ACL doing a diving senton outside the ring. She got injured in the middle of the match. Trish was winning the title since Lita could not continue. That was not the original plan. That year, let's remember that we got Christy Hemme against Trish Stratus, which was an interesting feud, but I don't think anybody took Christy seriously as she was a newcomer just winning the Diva Search contest. I know they tried to include Lita by putting her as Christy's manager, but it's not the same Lita being a manager that Lita being the one competing in the ring against Trish. It was also rumored that this match was supposed to have a stipulation as their rivalry has been the hottest thing in wrestling for a while, and they were either going to have a Falls Count Anywhere match or a no disqualification match. And I think Trish and Lita at Mania with a stipulation match could have been a match that stole the show, could have been one for the ages, but due to injury, it sadly never happened. The next storyline I'm going to talk about is Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville lesbian angle from last year. So, it was basically June, July of 2019, and we started to get a little tease about Sonya and Mandy might be involved in a relationship, like more than a friendship. They were subtle at first. They tried to do some segments where Sonya would stroke Mandy's cheek, or when they would have like, you know, a stare down, some interaction. Like you could tell there was a little bit of sexual tension there. Even in that year's Money in the Bank, Sonya decided to give her spot to Mandy and help her climb and almost get the briefcase. However, this storyline was scrapped. The reason is not clear. I think the creative team wasn't really sure what to do afterwards, as it was rumored that Mandy and Sonya being in a relationship would make them be more aggressive in the ring, you know, feel angry when someone would hurt their significant other. That is not confirmed, it was just rumors. We don't know if they had plans for that. Some people say that they gave the lesbian storyline to Liv and Lana, which was not true because it was just one segment, but what could have happened if this turned out to be the real content that we have on the show? To be honest, I don't see them benefiting from the storyline that much. And even if a lot of wrestling fans wanted it for different reasons, it never happened. I don't really think they had a direction. They just wanted to get eyes on the women's division probably, but maybe for you or for some other people was important. So tell me what you think down below. And the last storyline I'm going to talk about is back from 2007, and it is Torrie Wilson's stepsister. I'm not sure if a lot of you remember that, probably not, because this stepsister debuted. That debut was her last appearance as well. Let's get right into the background so we remember what I'm talking about. Torrie Wilson just defeated Victoria in a singles match, and let's remember that in this period of time, the only 3 women that were wrestling on SmackDown were basically Torrie, Michelle McCool, and Victoria. So when Torrie defeated Victoria, she was celebrating with the crowd, and she turned around to see a blonde which looked quite like her staring at her with pure anger. She was confused. Everyone was confused because nobody knew who this person was. I didn't get the Christmas attire though because it was not December. Anyway. And then she viciously attacked Torrie Wilson. She manhandled her. She threw her against the barricade. Then she almost broke her in 2 with the ring post, which some say added to Torrie Wilson's back injury and early retirement later that year, but we don't know about that. And the thing was supposed to be that this mysterious woman was supposed to be Torrie Wilson's stepsister. She would be so pissed off because she considers that the life Torrie has was supposed to be hers. This will lead into a big feud, an interesting feud for the SmackDown women. And some people say this last part is a rumor, the first part was confirmed. They were supposed to introduce the Divas title during that feud so Torrie Wilson could become the first ever Divas champion. That is not confirmed, but the part of the stepsister is confirmed, as Chrissy Bane, who was the woman playing the role of Torrie's stepsister, confirmed it in an interview. The reason she left was because she and her husband were supposed to debut on the WWE at the same time. They decided to send Chrissy to SmackDown and her husband to Raw. They wanted to work together, not in separate brands with separate schedules. As far as I'm concerned, that storyline could have been great, not only because Torrie Wilson was a huge babyface and everybody loved her, but it could have been a very interesting storyline for the introduction of a women's title on SmackDown. The SmackDown women were fighting for absolutely nothing as the women's title was on Raw. So getting the Divas title in the division was a good call, but maybe having a real heated storyline to introduce it would have made the title feel more prestigious. I think Torrie could have benefited from it because she busted her ass for more than 5 years for that company, and it could have been great if she was actually the first ever Divas champion. So for me, this last storyline is the one that I would have liked to see the most. Okay, so those were 5 storylines that were scrapped or cancelled. This time I only talk about WWE, but eventually I'm going to start to include another companies as I have a lot of storylines that I want to share that were scrapped. Now that depends on you. Tell me down in the comments if you like this type of content or not, if you would like to see a part 2. It's very important to me to know your point of view. Also tell me in the comments which of these storylines would you have loved to see in WWE and which of these storylines were okay if they were just crap. Tell me what do you think. Once again, I want to thank you for your support. It means a lot. We're almost 90 subscribers and I can't thank you enough. I'm getting a little emotional. So my name is Alexis, here's my Instagram like always, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!